Hi, it's Talika Tannehill here. We're here with Samantha, and she's going to be my client for a nice, elegant, glamorous look because she's going out tonight on a date. So this will be a date night makeup tutorial. Thank you guys, and see you in my next video.
Okay, so we're going to jump in with the voiceover just because it's going to be a lot faster to explain everything than typing it out. We're just cleaning the face here with Sam just so this way she has a nice clean palette to start on, and once it's all cleaned and prepped, then we'll go ahead and apply primer. That's what I'm doing right now here. The primer acts as a barrier. It also protects the skin from having any pores clogged. It shrinks the pores, and it also makes it a lot easier for the makeup to stay on all day. If you were to wear any kind of makeup without a primer, it's not going to stay. It's going to shift and it's going to start fading and wear and tear throughout the day. So primers are a must. I'm using a stippling technique, which is basically tapping and patting into the skin. You don't want to do circular rubbing motions just because you're going to wipe off the majority of the product and it's going to just collect in your brushes. And you don't want that. So definitely pat it into the skin as much as you can so this way the product is staying on your skin. So as you can see, I'm not really using the concealer. If anybody noticed that, I am purposely just using the foundation. The foundation itself had a really good coverage. Sam didn't have any problem skin that was too prominent that needed any kind of attention from a concealer. Concealers I normally use for really problem skin like bad scars like I have, any kind of blemishes, acne, rosacea, anything like that. So concealer comes in handy for, you know, that extra coverage that you might need. So luckily Sam had really beautiful skin and she was able to get away with just rocking the foundation. Anytime I've done makeovers, I always try to educate my clients of the different tips and tricks that are available to make things a lot easier and helping get ready a lot faster. So I always do a talk through of when I'm applying the makeup so they know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and this way they can repeat it at home. The great thing about doing these videos is they get to look back at it and see what's helpful and, you know, how to do it basically. I haven't been able to post these videos. I'm sorry if anybody noticed that as well, just because I had a lot going on, and I'm really sorry about that, but I'm really happy that I'm starting to get these up, especially after joining with Unique. It was more of a pressure to get these previous videos up that were all made before I ever joined Unique. So I just figured that this would be pretty helpful in the makeup world. Okay, so here I'm going to start applying the setting powder. Same thing, you want to use a tapping, stippling technique. This helps get it into all the little, you know, nooks and crannies of your face and just helps set your foundation. So this way it's not going to shift, you're not going to be too dewy or anything, but you'll still have that perfect shine. I always recommend using a translucent setting powder just because when you get colored setting powders, it ends up showing really badly. Now here I'm using a bronzer. I'm going to do her contouring first and the highlight will come later. Like I'm showing her, you always want to make sure that your contour on your cheekbones or underneath your cheekbones are aligned with your pupil. So that's where you want to stop, otherwise you're going to look like the Joker. So not to be mean, but it's a really, really good way to remember where to stop your contours. And as you can see right there, I'm going from her hairline and then I just kind of brush out, makes a perfect line underneath her cheekbone. Then just frame the face as much as you can. You can do more or a little, but try not to get too close to your brows in the middle. You want to hit up the temples. I'm going to go ahead and start adding some bronzer also to the chin area. This helps make the chin look a little bit smaller, as well as give some definition. Sorry, I can't talk today, but it just helps capture a lot of good shadows when you're taking pictures. So this way you'll have perfect pictures every single time. So knowing how to capture lights really does help with makeup tricks. Here I'm doing a nose sculpting, so this is just to again cast shadows really nicely for pictures, and in general it just really helps enhance the eyes the most. So it really helps colors pop, it helps your eyes pop, the shapes of your eyes get a lot more, you know, prominent. So this is a really neat trick to know. And so I'm just applying the shadow from the beginning of the eyebrow, and I'm using a neutral, like earth tone brown kind of color. You want to go like beige or light tan, but you just blend that into the brow and then just down your nose. I like to touch up underneath the nose as well, just because it again casts a nice shadow for pictures and just in general, and then just a little touch above the ball of your nose, because it just will help catch more light there. Here I'm just touching up the eyebrows. I do apologize, I was not able to show the entire eyebrow tutorial here because my battery died, so I had to change the battery, and there it goes. So we're back. I'm just here applying an eye primer to the lids, so this way the eyeshadows will stay all day and the colors will pop a lot more. Again, without primer, the colors do not show as well as they look in a palette, and they will not stay. They'll end up creasing and end up shifting really badly, so definitely do your primers. Here I'm using a transitional color, which is a really light gray, and I'm just applying that to her crease and blending it as much as possible. So I put very little on my brush, dusted it, and just blend, 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 blend. Blending is your best friend. I'm doing the same to the other side. Alright, here so I'm picking a darker gray, which had a very, you know, purple tint to it, and it had a really nice sheen and a shimmer to it, so that is going directly on the eyelid now. So you again dust off the excess and then start patting it in. You don't want to rub, because otherwise again you're going to rub off most of the product. So you really just want to tap it in and then blend it through to make sure you have it on there really, really well. Okay, so after cleaning my brush real quick, I went ahead and went in between the two colors right in the crease and just started blending that in, so this way there are no harsh lines. You don't want to know where your eyeshadow colors start and stop. So as you can see, in the video it's kind of hard to tell just because of how my lighting was, but it actually does show two different colors, and it's very, very, very beautiful the way it turned out. Here I'm just doing a eyeliner using a chocolate brown eyeshadow, because I didn't want to go too blunt. We are doing a very light tinted smoky eye, so I just wanted to keep it as subtle with the eyeliner. Alright, so we're going to use the same chocolate brown on the bottom lids, so this way they're not so bare, because the eyelids are so strong with color and design that you want to just give a little bit of attention to those bottom lids. So you're going to go ahead and start from the outer corner and bring them in halfway, but make sure that the middle is not blunt, so you want to just kind of brush it out and just smoothen it out. And here on the other side, just do the same thing. I want to bring it in halfway and then just kind of brush it through, so this way it's not so harsh. You don't want to get too close to your inner eye either, so keep that in mind. I'm a really impatient person, so I like to show the work as I'm going along, so this way if there are any changes that my client likes to make, I can always change them as I go along instead of waiting till the last minute. So here I'm just kind of cleaning up any fallouts and just also smoothing out the edges on the sides, so this way nothing is harsh. Again, sorry I can't talk and my voice is like dying today. But going ahead with the mascara, I always start from the underneath the eyelashes as close as I can to the lid, so I always have the person look at me and then I work them up, and then I'll have the person look down and then do the tips, and then I just brush them out with the tip of the mascara to kind of comb it through. And then of course I use a lash comb. Alright, real quick, just to bring a little bit more light to the eyes and to help them pop a lot more. She is going on a date, so we want to make it look really romantic, really beautiful. She has great features, so this was really easy to play with. But you want to do like a kind of pearl color in the inner corners of the eye. Even if you're having a smoky eye, this really helps brighten that spot, and it takes amazing pictures and it just looks beautiful no matter where you are. So always highlight your inner corners. It really makes a huge difference. Okay, this is one of my favorite tricks ever, doing the concealer underneath the eyes for any type of dark circles, or if you feel like you look tired, or whatever is the problem area that you want to cover. You go ahead and just add a couple of dots, and then you're going to blend that through. There's different ways to actually do this. I'll do a separate video for that. But all you do is just apply it underneath the eyes after you've done a full face, and then you're just going to blend that through really nicely. This will cover any fallouts, this will cover any dark circles. You don't want to do it too close to your eyes because it will crease really badly. So you want to make sure you're blending it gently into your skin, and again with a tapping motion. You don't really want to rub. And then of course add your setting powder with a round fluffy brush, so this way it does not move and it stays in place. Okay, so finally we're going to be going ahead and adding the blush. I do it in an extended technique, so this way it's not completely focused on just the apples of the cheeks, otherwise it makes it look super round. And then above the blush we're going to go ahead and add a highlight, so you can already see she's got a really nice light capturing on her cheekbone. It looks gorgeous. Here I'm using a brush for a lipstick that I had, and this is kind of like a mauve color. It's got a pink and a purple tint to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a gloss over that to just, again, give it a very subtle sheen. I didn't want to do something too shimmery. I always like to do a light lip with a dark eye because otherwise it just becomes too much. So you just have to know how to pair colors and just, have like a nice balance on it. And that's the finished look. Unfortunately, my camera ended up dying, and I didn't have another battery pack, so I went ahead and just sprayed her hair with an argan oil just to give it some shine and lighten it up, and then just went ahead and straightened her hair.